You didn't come this far to play small. This is Winning Daily, the podcast that builds winners in life and in business. Welcome home.
And baby, let's go.
Cool. We are back with episode 12, and today we would like to welcome on a very special guest. We have our friend Saul Martinez, and you guys may recognize him from Fast and the Furious 10. It's coming. No, I'm just kidding. You guys might recognize him from the Terminator. I'm totally kidding, but we're here. We want to introduce Saul. Obviously, as always, I have one of my partners here, Adam, and Saul actually know each other before I had the opportunity to meet Saul, and he's got some things that we want to talk about on today's episode. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, we know you're a trainer. We know you recently just got married, but tell the people at home, who is Saul Martinez?
Yes. Hello, my name is Saul Martinez, and aside from being a trainer, I'm a very family-oriented man. I come from a family of, it's 8 of us. I'm the oldest of 6. My youngest brother is 4 years old. Big time family, and family is everything to me. Aside from that, I would say that I just enjoy being around people to help not only better myself, but lift others up along the way.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Okay. So
Oldest of 6. Yeah, my mom had me at 18. My dad was 22.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. So, and youngest is 4 years old, you said?
Youngest is 4 years old. So my parents had the three older of us within 5 years. And we were just a lot to handle financially, mentally, spiritually, all the above. And so I remember mentioning, like, we don't want any more kids. And then it was Easter one year, and I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. And in the Easter basket that year, my mom surprised us with ultrasound pictures of my brother Sebastian. And it was the most beautiful thing. I didn't believe it. But funny enough, Sebastian's 10. Couple years later, she said, guess what, guys? This was on Christmas. She said, guess what, guys? This was on Christmas. And I already knew. I'm like, because it was a certain look. Like, my mom and I, we get along on another level. And I looked at her, and she's like crying. I'm like, you're pregnant again. She's like, how do you know? I was like, I just know. So there goes that. And then by the time Mateo came around, which is my youngest brother, we all knew by that time too. She's like, hey guys, she's like, you're pregnant again. We are like, by that time we all knew. So that's definitely one of my main core values, aside from being a fitness enthusiast in that way.
So at what point did you get into fitness, man? How old were you?
So I would say I was always active. I started baseball, t-ball, but playing baseball actively, competitively. 10 years old, I joined a club team, a travel baseball team. And from about 10 to 17 years old, my dad gave his all to be able to provide for me in out-of-state tournaments, very thankful to be able to travel to New York, Texas, Arizona, pretty much I've actually been to Louisiana too.
Have you, bro?
Yeah,
I knew we were cousins. I freaking knew it.
Dude,
If you ever go to
club sports, kids, that's pricey.
Yeah, travel baseball is not cheap.
I didn't know that. And my dad just opened up about that couple of years back, because now my brother Diego is in a club soccer team. And I was like, how do you like supporting him through soccer? He's like, no, I love it. He's like, did you know how much like it costs to do these tournaments though? I was like, no. And he kind of like went down through the numbers, and I was like, how did you make that happen? He's like, no, man, when there's a will, there's a way. I saw the fire that you had for the sport, and I knew that I was just going to figure it out. Like, seeing you happy through that made me happy to continue to provide for that. So I was always active in that way. I went to St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, which is a highly competitive Division I sports school. And after that, I got introduced to weightlifting. That's when this started to happen. As a sophomore, I noticed the more work that I put into the gym, not only did my power get better, but my ability to be able to react. I was a third baseman, so reacting to ground balls, my speed, just overall, I noticed a direct correlation from the work I put into the gym onto the field. After high school, I got into Long Beach State. I didn't follow through with baseball, but I did enjoy the aspect of the weightlifting, the discipline, and the way it made me feel mentally. And that's what just kind of started that fire for fitness itself.
How old are you now?
27.
Okay, got it. Cool, man. Yeah, St. John Bosco, if a lot of you guys don't know, I moved to California about 10 years ago, and I've learned through Sports Talk Radio who St. John Bosco is. They have a big name, and that's cool, man, that you were able to go there. And your dad could have bought a yacht instead. He put you through travel baseball.
I'll tell you that. Like one of my businesses is in the soccer training. We have a soccer
Youth athletes, right?
youth athletes,
Right.
and that came about because my niece and several of the kids are in club sports, and we're looking and staring at it. We're like, we spend that much on club sports. And so like, my niece now, she's being voted and she's doing all these different things. Every single weekend she's playing for a team or something. So she does futsal, she does the regular club sports, so she does like all these different tournaments. And at any one point there's like 3 or 4 tournaments only going on at the same time. Baseball is very similar. My nephew is in baseball, and I'm sitting there, they're like in different states all the time, and I'm like, I thought season's over. He's like, no, we have another tournament that we just like joined, and then we got recruited for another tournament that we just joined over here. And I'm like, dang. And the thing is, the parents pay for the travel, they're responsible for the tickets, they're responsible for the parking, they're responsible for the snacks.
You have to pay to be part of the team as well. You're paying for the name.
The
of it.
uniforms are sick as hell, bro. When I see
Yeah.
those kids in those travel baseball uniforms, I'm like, dude. I played baseball at the YMCA, dog. They just give you a T-shirt and there's like sweat stains on. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude. It is not the same back in the '90s as it is now, man. So that's cool. So baseball was your first sport. Then that led you to weightlifting. Was there like a coach or somebody that like really stood out to you at that time, man? Like anybody in particular?
Don Barbara. It was my high school coach. Yeah, his passion for baseball, it led to teach me other things aside from baseball. He taught me life lessons, right? He taught me how you have to get after it every day. Nothing is promised. I was a starting third baseman. There was a game where I messed up in the beginning. He took no chances. He looked at me, he said, get the fuck off the field right away. And, it hurt, it stung. It's very embarrassing to get taken off the field in the first inning. But learning from, as a freshman, like very early on, that nothing is promised to you and you have to get it and you have to show up and prove to yourself every day that you deserve this, is what led to not only my work ethic in baseball, but just moving forward. I just knew that I couldn't let the ego get the best of me and I had to give my all.
You seem like a really calm person. Are you always this calm, man?
Definitely. Yeah, I would say I have a very nonchalant vibe, but I let out that energy, that built up energy at the gym.
I could tell.
On the weights.
I could
yeah.
tell. Look, dude, I'll just say this. If you're listening to this episode, I would highly suggest you at least go watch this or watch some of the clips that you'll see later on Instagram. I got dressed up for Saul today. Like I was at home and I even brought a shirt just in case. I was like, I'm gonna go trainer style. My boy's a beast. He's gonna come in dressed like a trainer. Look at him. This guy's dressed to the nines today. I'm in a cut off Winning Daily tank top and some shorts, dude. And I know I'm probably gonna get trolled for this. But you know what? I wore this because I was like, yeah. And then I saw him. I was like, son of a bitch. Hey, you know what? 50-50 gamble. And you know what? Here we are. But it's funny because I see Saul. I met you the first time I met you was at Adam's facility. And, you're training obviously over there. You had one of your clients. He's a younger guy. I don't know if you remember that day. He's a younger
Juan.
guy. Yeah, Juan. There it is. Yeah. So younger guy. And I could tell he was probably, if I had to guess, newer to his fitness journey, like probably newer. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this first time in the gym. We started back in January, and I'm really proud of him. He's made amazing progress.
Shout out Juan.
Yeah, Juan's amazing. Love you, brother.
Yeah. And you could tell that, that brotherly, like now it makes sense. Like now that I know you're the oldest of 6 kids, I could see how that's, it makes sense. Like that energy is matched in the gym. So, but like getting yanked off the baseball field like that, man. And it's a moment of humility, right? And we talk about that all the time on this podcast, like, cause we're in the business of building entrepreneurs. We're in the business of leading other people to leadership and, to that's what one thing that is the biggest character to me for a leader is humility, and getting yanked like get the fuck off the baseball field. That'll crush you, because it's an ego shattering moment. You're like, wait a minute, like I was a starter, now I'm on the bench. And so at that time, now you probably have to make calls, or you probably have to decide like, how am I going to lead? So like, what is like your leadership style? Because that's some of the things that we talk about here when you're working with your clients hands on, and maybe you have somebody who's new, or like who are the type of people that you train, and how do you lead them?
Of course, I actually love this question, because if you asked me this exact question 2 years ago, I wouldn't consider myself a leader, and that's the truth. I've barely started to step into my leader role this past year, and given what Adam, the conversation we had earlier, how he's noticed that I've experienced levels to it where I come across a problem, kind of scale back, but then figure out how to move past it. This has been my bottleneck that has not allowed me to move in the direction that now that I am going to. So the way that I lead now, I could connect with pretty much any client. I'm very personal. I treat it not only as a session, but as a way to connect, not only with the client, but with their life, because I see it as once you're able to connect with their mind, the body will follow. One way that I'm leading now, just finished reading the book Atomic Habits for the second time. And I read it a couple years back, but rereading it and the mindset that I have now and where I'm at mentally now is, it spoke to me in another way. So there's this thing called a habit contract. You sign an agreement with yourself. And, it's interesting because I would say, there's times where you have a client where they come in, just give me the blueprint, I'm going to follow everything. But it's not too often that you attract a client like that right away. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, you're getting a client that's in the beginning and they're trying to unlearn their past self. Now, given I didn't have the leadership skills a couple of years ago, I didn't know how to turn a client like that into that client that will follow everything and treat it as, that self-belief that they could get to where they want to go. So actually this past week, I'm having every client sign a habit agreement to their self, a contract. One thing that they've been wanting to implement this next week, and it says just one habit, but I put two just to add on one. So one fitness to kind of move them forward, but one mental, because like I said, I believe the mind controls where the body will follow. So having my people sign this contract, on the bottom you put a punishment if you don't follow through with this. And a lot of times they shoot for like 0 to 100. I kind of scale them back, like, no, let's take it 1% at a time. If you're doing no walks at all and you want to start walking, how about you just walk 10 minutes 3 times a week? Versus they're like, I want to walk an hour every day. It's like, let's start slowly. So I've been treating the sessions a lot differently now. And I would say that now I treat it as a way to really help them build. If we have a certain check-in that's not propelling us forward, I'm going to sit them down and we're going to talk. Forget about the workout, because if we don't really talk about what's going on, as we know, you can work out as much as you want, but you won't see the results.
Yeah, that's something as you're thinking, I'm picturing trainers that I've met, picturing clients that I've dealt with, picturing just people, right, in general, because it's human nature at the end of the day, right, that we're talking about. And for those clients that you see that, like, I've seen trainers, and there's one in particular I'm thinking of, and I've watched him with his clients over the last few years at a health club that I work out with. And he retains his clients, but sometimes you don't see those clients have those breakthroughs. The guys in there working, but nothing really changes. Like, in fact, the physique almost looks worse, right? And maybe the goal is just to live, like, be healthy and train. But like, you see these times where people are, I can tell he's very workout focused, like drill sergeant style focus, like get the weights, do your set, And it's just like, you have to evolve beyond that trainer brain, right? So, and that sounds like kind of what is you've evolved into this leader. So like, what was the thing that like triggered this change in you in this last year to like embrace that leadership role, man, and start to go a next layer deep? I'm going to open this can. It's going to sound loud.
Open it up.
Yeah, I'm going to open. Shout out White Rabbit, by the way. Sorry, I know it's so rude to do in the microphone, but I'm doing it. But by the way, whiterabbitenergy.com. You can put code winning and get free shipping and 10% off your order. Okay, back to us. What do you got, Saul?
Of course, yes. So many things. One, definitely getting married really changed my perspective on stepping in the provider role. It put a different a different responsibility in my head that I've never ever felt before, right? And my wife is very self-driven too. She just graduated from her master's degree. She's a licensed social worker working to be her own private therapist. Really proud of her. And given that I just want to give not only her the best life, but our future family, it really had me reflect on why am I in the same position making the, not only, let's step away from money, but why am I in the same thinking patterns and the same habits I was in 2 years ago? Why have I not improved any of these? And why am I comfortable? The discomfort came actually from her calling me out. They say your partner is the best person that will know your flaws. And at first and it's still a work in progress, but I got triggered, right? And I'll shut down. That's what I used to do. She's helping me learn how to communicate, how to take it for what it is, but take it as constructive criticism. Because when you love someone that much, everything they say really affects you in that way.
Correct.
So I would say this past year, it was just, how can I 5x, 10x what I'm doing? What has to change? Because obviously the habit, the way I'm doing the training is not working the way it should be. Why are some of my clients in the same position they are in last year?
Yep.
That's the ultimate what it led to. And honestly, just we'll talk about this later, but the polar bear costume and the
I'm getting there, man.
Yeah, man.
We're warming up to this, so stick around.
I really see this as it's gonna be an impact I can't even fathom to think right now. It's bigger than me. That's the best I could say. So I'm really trying to step into that leadership role in order to allow others to see what can be possible when you put your mind to something.
That's dope. Yeah, I was figuring it was either something like changing your life. I was kind of like leaning toward ayahuasca or like mushrooms or something. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? Like these people have these like moments of enlightenment, and it's actually way cooler than that. You know what I mean? Like that was you that sent that the other day, right? About Von Miller that say he went and like does ayahuasca or something like that, and you have these like enlightening moments. Okay, no, so yeah, ayahuasca free moments. Your partner, calling you out, like I've been there, right? and that is another thing, because if what they're saying is not received with an ounce, even a shred of humility, it falls on deaf ears. Yes. And humility is the equivalent of love. Like it carries weight. Like, so the fact that you found somebody who carried weight in their voice and cared enough to tell you, hey, look, like this is what it could be, or this point out a gap and say, whatever it might be. The same way that you see a client, they're like, well, I want a 6-pack. And it's like, well, what does walking have to do with a 6-pack? You're like, well, let me explain, this is a pain gap and I need to help you understand these things. It's really cool, man. So
there's like actually even particularly in that decision-making process, there's actually a loop in there for self-confidence as well. Okay. So let me kind of go to it. Like if you were to sit there and take feedback from somebody in your entire life, okay, who would be the one person that you would take it from? It would be your wife. And if you sit there and your ego takes it to a toll where you're like, she doesn't know me well, or whatever it is, that's also basically hitting your confidence because you made the wrong choice for a life partner. So it's like this kind of conflicting thing where it will break you down. But if you have humility and you let your ego, kind of subside, it allows that to be stronger. And it allows you to have confidence in your decision making. So now you have confidence in yourself. Like, oh, I chose the right person. If I went through all this to choose the right person, I should listen to that person, to what they say, right? Because I love them, they love me to the highest. That's your significant other, your North Star. So they say everything out of love. They're not gonna sit there and try to beat you down, just to beat you down. Like that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's purpose. It's a purposeful purpose.
Yeah, and usually your significant other sees the best potential in you. Mm-hmm. You're actually the one that beats yourself, the biggest bully out of everybody. You beat yourself more than everybody, right? So your significant other is right there. Your wife is saying, you can be better. And then your ego is sitting there like, nah, I can't because I'm this. But she could see the potential. If you could drop your own ego and follow that process, it's so much bigger.
The internal yeah buts will get you killed.
Yeah.
The internal yeah buts. Yeah, but.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes or no. That is such a dude thing. And a woman's perspective is awesome sometimes because like when I say that because we all like here are our partners. Adam's one. I have 3 other business partners. So there's 5 of us in total, and all of us have strong wives, right? Like all of us have strong wife that's like not scared to like, hey, this is how it is. And that's awesome, man. So it's really good because you have that support system as a leader, and that's drawing you and strengthening you up as a leader. So you started your journey as a trainer at what point here? Like how long have you been like actually training clients?
Definitely. Well, I started at Self-Made. I had 0 experience. I had graduated from Long Beach State. I was applying to internships, and I graduated with a business management major. As I was looking down at each internship, I asked myself, will I be happy here in 5 years? And I kid you not, I went through pages and pages. I was just like, no, I won't. So then I felt lost. I felt like I didn't know what to do. I had to really ask myself what lights a fire in me that I'm willing to give my all, and it does not feel like work to me. And that's something my dad taught me very young. Like, you got to find something that not only that you enjoy, but that you have a passion for.
This episode is brought to you by White Rabbit Energy. If you don't know what White Rabbit Energy is, it's an alternative form of energy drink. No caffeine, no stimulants. It is a kratom-infused energy seltzer, and it's absolutely awesome. My personal favorite is the watermelon. But if you're looking for where to find White Rabbit Energy, you can just go to whiterabbitenergy.com, and we are proudly partnered with them here at Winning Daily.
Because your effort will be able to outweigh anytime you ever feel any doubt. And that's what led to fitness. So at the time I was working at Vitamin Shop, and shout out to Mario. Mario is the reason why I was able to find Self-Made. We were both looking for a way out of Vitamin Shop. So we were applying to work at 24, all these branch gyms. And he happened to be on Instagram scrolling down, and Self-Made popped up as an advertisement. And he's like, hey man, like, look, they're hiring independent contractors. And I had already beforehand heard about Self-Made. I want to say it was the Costa Mesa location. And I remember like how nice the gym looked. I was always attracted to him. Like, I looked at him, and me being able to already be familiar with Long Beach, I was like, we have nothing to lose. Like, let's go. So we both messaged. I'm not sure it was either Adam or Bren, asked for an interview, and fast forward to now. Yeah, I've been there since May of 2021, but it was definitely scary, right? Because imagine coming from a minimum wage, knowing exactly how much you're going to get paid per week, to somewhere where you have to pay rent to be there. And like going from that type of job to entrepreneur, just diving in, was the scariest, but the best thing I could have done for myself. It's the most growth I've had in my life, and it's continuous growth now. It's like Adam said, by the year I'm finding ways to continue growing, and I would say now my mind is aligned more than it's ever been. So I'm excited to 5x, 10x, and continue that growth. That way we can really spread the positivity and the impact the way Polar Bear knows how he can.
So has it ever occurred to you, because obviously I worked at Self-Made Corporate, right? And then so working there, I would talk to thousands of trainers like on a national level, and they would be like, so we have to rent space from you? And I'd be like, time out, because Miguel had ingrained it in me. He's like, there's no rent here. It's an investment. Yeah. Has your mindset shifted now? Like, hey, this is a monthly investment that I pay.
Oh yeah. I don't see it as rent. I see it as my home.
Right. Yeah. And that's an investment into your career. It's a place to call home and build your business. But so 2021 fast track to 2025. We're in September. That's hard to believe. September 2025 already. So roughly 4 years working for yourself?
4.5, yeah.
4.5. He's like, knows the exact days. He's like four years, 168 days and 16 hours, baby. But okay, so where are you at now? Like when you first started, like kind of give me the 30-second version of like acquiring clients, losing clients, retaining clients. Like, where are you at now? How many clients do you normally like see on a weekly basis or like on your roster?
So what I started at was none. Thankfully, I have a blessed, and I'm very thankful to have a very close knit family. So my mom's brothers, my uncles, and my own brother were my first clients. They helped support me for months on end. And then one of my cousins shouted me out through social media, in which I got one of my actual first clients. Her name's Angela, and I actually still have her as a client today. Shout out Angela, she's a real one. And from
Day
there
one,
on,
man.
you know, like it was just a lot of referrals, being able to provide a service for someone and really connect with them. It's all about the experience. It's one thing to get results, it's another thing to allow your client to feel seen, heard, respected, and loved. At the end of the day, it's love, and it comes back to you tenfold. So 2021 was still a struggle. It took a whole year for me to leave Vitamin Shop and go full time into self-made. I was just investing month for month. I 2 months in, I almost quit because I was just taking money out of my account. I think I had like $50 left, and I just told Adam and Brand, like, hey, like, I mean, at this next month, I'm gonna go negative. And I was like, this is gonna be my last month. I was seeking comfort because I didn't see it through. But I'm really thankful for Adam and Brent. They both saw something in me that I didn't see at the time. And, you know, they just said, you know, they sat me down. We had a meeting outside, like, give yourself some time. You have a talent that I don't believe you see yet, but just give yourself some time and learn to step into it. And it's crazy because prior to that meeting, I had already told my whole family I was going to quit. But the way that they were able to connect with me that day switched my mind like right away. And I would say 2022 is when things started to roll around. I got a group of clients who are also still my clients today. I would say my retention is thankfully amazing. I'm able to really retain my people. Those group of 3 clients, one of them is the head director at one of the schools. She brought me in 10 to 12 clients from that school alone, teachers, friends, teachers, daughters, everything in between. After that, my network started to grow. And fast forward to today, I see on average anywhere from 20 to 25 people a week. And yeah, I'm really thankful for my people. Without you, I'm nothing.
That's so we just had this conversation. Actually, what's today? Friday. So we just had it on Wednesday in our mentorship class. Someone asked me, how do I get to 30 clients? Or how do I get to 20 clients? And I was like, you focus on your 3 clients.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? I was like, so this is where a lot of, even in business, and I love that you brought that up, because the idea is like, if you can treat, whether you have 1, 3, 5, doesn't matter the number, but you treat them like they matter. You treat them, you give them the full service, everything under the sun. That's where the referral process goes in. And the reason why the retention stays the same is because you've never changed that. A lot of times in business, and even in personal training, we're so worried about the number. Like, how do I get up to 20 sales? How do I get up to, 20 clients? You worry so much about that, you ruin your opportunity on the 10th client or sale, because you're so rushed. You're rushing that particular process, right? And you don't treat that number 10th one like with the greatest service that you have, and because you're so worried about that big number in the sky. And with that being said, what happens is that, that's where a lot of people kind of fall short, is because they're always looking, it's great to have a goal, but you got to remember what everything has steps to get to that particular goal. If you're so focused on the goal, and I get this, a lot, you're going to hear on social media, you're going to hear it all the time. It's like the Hail Marys of the world. Everybody's like, well, if you don't hit this number, if you don't, what's that one with some of the guys that are like, if you don't make $100,000 a month, I would be ashamed of myself, right? And yeah, stuff like that. But again, everybody's, whatever stage that you're at in your life, there is somebody that's looking to get there. Please understand that. right? Because you've paved the way. That's what we always sit there and say is like, you always have an audience, because however you are, you're 4.5 years in as a personal trainer. There is a trainer that's starting today that is looking at Saul's like Instagram and going, I want to be that one day. Right. So there's always that process that you're going to have. Focus on the now, focus on being present, focus on your clients. And that's how you get to the next level. And that was like, here's a clear example of how that happened, because he was just focusing on the one client, such great service. They did all the referrals.
Yeah, that's the best business you can get. All the money's in retention. It's and yes, you do need new like lifeblood into your business. And that's something that we're gonna get to right now, because I'm gonna ask you about your goal here and like big picture, like where did we start? Here we are now. Where are we going? Type of thing. And there's a lot of money in retention. For me, that was the same thing with Warm Network. It's almost like when people start asking you, hey, you're a trainer, or hey, what do you do for a living? Like, and they want to know because they want to. There's something already there. And we make a joke here about Louisiana. It's a French term called a je ne sais quoi. It's like it literally means I do not know. It's like an intangible quality that's like magnetic about you that people want to know more. Well, number one, you're a walking billboard for your business. If you're not watching this, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a reason why I made the joke about the Fast and the Furious movie earlier. It's like, so you're a walking billboard for your business. You're calm and you have demeanor. I also heard you mention that a lot of your clients, or that some of your clients, are women. Yes. So it's oftentimes you see women are highly more likely to work out with women. That is just the facts. Like I didn't make this up. Like these are the statistics, right? But the fact that, so I've been there where I train women as well, right? And it's like, if you can have a client that can bring you other clients, clearly you have something working. And we need to find what that is and just repeat it over and over again. And now you're building a business. So what is your goal? Because you started with your Warm Network. You said uncles became your clients, and then other people became your clients. Then we got Angela, right? And then so on and so forth. And then one person kind of spread into a bunch where it's like, hey, I just love Saul Mattel, him. And, maybe I got some results. People are asking what I'm doing different. And I'm going to give my shine to my trainer because he was the catalyst in my life. And then all of a sudden you have other people advertising on behalf of you, which is like strictly organic. It costs you $0 except time spent into your client. So what is your goal now? Like, we're 4.5 years into this, and I kind of want to talk about the polar bear, talk about your brand and what you do and that kind of stuff.
Of course. Well, I actually want to scale it back on how even I'm stepping into this polar bear, because it's a huge movement on the way. I've came from a blessed family, no rough upbringing, to be honest, but I did struggle. I was very low self-esteem and insecure growing up. So this is the first time I share this with anyone other than my family. They know. But I was a bedwetter until I was 13 years old. So imagine how much that can affect my self-esteem, right? In middle school, we would have these trips to, whether it be Big Bear, Washington, D.C., all my friends, everyone like, you're going to go, right? I'm like, no, I don't want to go. But it was that fear. Is like, what if I wet the bed when I'm out there? I wear diapers, bro. Like, how am I going to sleep in a bed next to you? Wake up and you're like, oh, so I'll wet the bed. It reminds me of that scene from Home Alone where nobody wanted to sleep with Kevin. I was Kevin, right? But I was a teenage Kevin, so it was a whole other level. Thank God. I don't know if it was because puberty or something mentally. I was like, I gotta stop, because I was about to approach high school. Mind you, it's genetics. There's a lot of people in my family that were bedwetters. Anyways, 8th grade, I stopped wetting the bed. So after like accepting that, overcoming that, stepping into, okay, like I'm gonna start becoming more confident. I don't have that anymore. I started to get a lot of acne, and not just a little, like all over my face. And that was another level of insecurity, low self-esteem. As soon as I beat one hurdle, bam, right to the next one. And people would point it out. You have craters on your face, all this. So like I would get reminded on a daily, you shouldn't love yourself. You shouldn't be confident. Look at your face. Little did they know I had just overcame wetting the bed. Once I overcame that, gained confidence, started talking to women, got my first girlfriend, fell in love with her. I thought she was the one, It's usually you think the first one is the one. Sometimes it is, which is a blessing, but unfortunately, blessing in disguise though. Christmas Day, I found out that she cheated on me through social media. Through Instagram. She had posted a picture, and some guy had commented all hard eyes, and I went on his page, and they had so many pictures together. That broke me into a whole other depression, low self-esteem. Like, my insecurity was at its lowest. Once and that was a dark place for me, but probably one of my darkest for months. I remember I'd be asleep in bed just all day. I wouldn't want to do anything. My parents would walk in. They knew. They're like, how can I help you? I was just like, away. Like, I don't want no help right now. And, it was the fall. I want to say it was 2017, January of 2017. I woke up one morning. I'm like, I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself. Like, shit's happening to me. But if I don't change it, if I don't change my own story, I felt like a victim. I had that victim mindset. Why me? Everything's happening to me. I guess I'm never going to be confident. I'm never going to be able to get any of my goals just because I'm allowing the outcomes to reflect my internal. But I looked at myself in the mirror, and it's cool. I have the picture on my camera roll. I said, I'm done feeling sorry for myself. Today, moving forward, I'm going to build myself into the man I've always wanted to become. No one's going to be able to break me. And that is when I started my fitness journey officially. I thought building my body and releasing all this built up tension in the gym was going to be able to make my mindset right. The crazy thing is I got in the best shape, shredded, and I was still depressed. So I was like, but like, okay, so what's going to help my mind? Like, I thought if, the people that seemed the most happy are the ones that are in the best shape, but I started to realize it's deeper than that. So as I started building my body, slowly started building my mind along the way. But because I was still insecure and overcoming fears from my past, I would smoke a lot of weed. I started smoking right after high school, not during Bosco, because they would drug test you there. So like, I knew, like, they would call you out of class, like, hey, like, and they call it random drug tests, like, yeah. So
I knew during your head when you go to like private schools.
Yeah, after high school, I started smoking weed, and that at the time, it was serving me, because it's not serving me now that I'm reflecting on it. And thank God I was able to quit smoking. But at that time, because I didn't want to face my own emotion, I would smoke it away. Whenever I would feel some type of insecurity, low self-esteem, I would smoke before going to the gym. That way I can just, my thing is, I work out better in it. I'm able to get a better pump. Like, and over time, I realized how even that was holding me back. Fast forward to years on end, I barely stopped smoking this year. But that's when my life really started to change, when I took all the vices away. I allowed myself to face my own fears. And to tie it back into the polar bear, I bought this costume a year ago. And this all happened because I think it was 2022, fall of 2022 or 2021, actually. I walked into the gym. I was like in a full white sweater and sweats. And Brand was like, hey, Sal, how you doing, man? You're doing good. You look like a polar bear. I didn't think anything of it. Honestly, I was like, yeah, okay. He's like, no, you should like run with that. Like, that can be your brand. You could be the polar bear. And I was like, you know what? And since I was a fresh personal trainer, no experience, I didn't have a name. I didn't have a brand. I was just working. And I was like, you know what? I'll think about it. And as I thought about it, I was like, I actually like it. Polar Bear Fitness. And I was like, okay. And for a couple years, that's what it was. I made the logo and that was my name, but there was nothing more to it. As I reflected, after I got married, how can I continue to level up? Like, what's going to separate myself from not just other trainers, but separate myself into be able to overcome all my insecurities, my low self-esteem? I was like, I have to be the polar bear himself. I have to step into something that makes me very uncomfortable.
You're like, I have to wrestle a polar bear. You're like, I'm gonna.
That's funny. and I bought the costume. So to tie in all the things I went through in the past, what this polar bear movement is, the motto is simple. It's spreading positivity. This polar bear, I'm stepping into not only my own fears, but to show everyone that there's going to be dark times, but as long as you look for the light, you'll be able to find it. And as long as I'm able to help you smile today, just one person, then the movement is working. It's lift others up instead of tearing others down. I don't want anyone to feel the way I felt years ago.
Yeah, you were showing me a video, and maybe we can like B-roll it in or something. But you were showing me a video before we got on the camera, before this started, and it was a video in Mexico. You took the costume to Mexico, and you go to gyms and you work out in the polar bear costume. Right?
Yes, so that's how definitely it started. It was more like, how can I market myself in other gyms, kind of like put myself out there, be known as, oh, that's the polar bear guy. I started in gyms, but now I even do it in public. I do beach runs and in Long Beach. I go outside everywhere, public places. I just put myself out there in places where I'm uncomfortable. The beautiful thing is, it was very uncomfortable at first, but now I stepped into that discomfort and actually seek it, which is like something, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I'd look at you, light up the blunt, and look away. So it's like it's a blessing that I've been able to step into the discomfort, and seeing others' reactions is the most beautiful thing. Like seeing others smile. I've heard so many times, you made my day today.
Yes.
And like, you really don't know what others are going through. And being able to impact just one person, that means I'm moving in the right direction to have a society where we're all just trying to spread love.
That's dope, man.
And that's, and my wife's gonna love this, so she's gonna watch this, and I'm gonna tell all my friends this, and they always give me crap every single day, right? So my thing was, when it kind of changed for me, I just set a goal out. I said, I want to, for my purpose, to be happy. I want to laugh today, and I want to make one other person laugh. So I throw out a bunch of jokes every single day into our group of friends. They tell me all the time, the women, they go, you suck at your dad jokes. and I get one person. So there's like a group of people, right? One person laughs, and I go, my joke was good. I go,
you had me rolling yesterday.
Yeah,
you had me rolling yesterday.
There we go. So I'll keep throwing it out there. And I was like, I just need one person, and I will keep on going. And then, so that's the whole thing of like spreading the positivity, right? If I could just touch and talk to one person, that's all really that matters at the end of the day. Because if I can just make one person smile that day, that makes my day 100%. And I think that also comes into the same category of, and I think this is where the shift in our minds, and it goes through maturity in life, is like the very first thing. And I love that what you're saying is that you gotta be the person that you want to be, right? So it's kind of like you want to be the man that your wife wants to marry, and you got to be that person before you find your wife, right? It's the same thing with, I want to be the parent that I've always wanted, right? So like, if I want to teach my son or my kids a certain thing, I got to be that person first. And the practice is your clients. I get to help lead them. And when your son or daughter comes along, you have a child, then now you're like, okay, I've been practicing all these different things. And that's where the purpose comes in, right? Because that's why, like, everybody's like, well, why do you help these individuals, and why do you want to coach, and why do you want to be a personal trainer? Because, dude, this is what I would love to pass on to my children. I would love to make it like an everyday thing. And I bet you've asked all of us, right? And Jonathan's over there as well. And so I know for sure he trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on a daily basis because his kids do it, right? And his own kids talk crap to him. And that's the same thing with us. We're going to train every single day and be fit and do all this stuff because we understand what it's done for us. And I look at like Phoenix and I go, he has the same vices as I do, right? He's going to go through the same struggles as I do. The beautiful part of it is I went through it and I know the solutions to some of them, right? You're going to have insecurities. And when your child has insecurities, you're like, hey, here's just some of the things that I've done. Right. And so it allows that kind of translation. And I think that's what a lot of our purpose, ends up to be.
What's really cool too is the freedom and the ability to work for yourself is kind of priceless. It's not even kind of priceless. It's very priceless, because not only if your kids are looking up to your future family, you have people that depend on you, you're building a community of others that you're elevating as a leader. A leader elevates other leaders. That is your role. It's not to lecture people. That's not it. And you've been getting more involved with Winning Daily. Obviously, you've been involved with Adam in their facility, and that's in the future, your future as well, as they rebrand with Trinity and everything that's going on right now, which is, I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't wait to go check out and see. I've been there as the transition's happening and seeing what's going on. But I think that's another level that they're investing in to build y'all's future, to build your people's future. So it's multiplicative, which is such a fancy word, huh? But you've been getting more involved with Winning Daily, and in Winning Daily, there's something that I've come up with, and I built the self-investment system. And it's essentially your mind, your body, your spirit. I talk about it on the podcast, talk about it with my business partners, and those three things have to be in alignment. And if not, you're easy to kill. But you also, another thing too is, you have to remove those vices. You have to look at your weakest point and say, where am I weak right now? Is it my body, my mind, my spirit? We talked about this on August's call in the leadership call that I talked about the self-investment system. And those are the things that I think you were like, hold on, this is me, and echo with you, because that is the true definition of a leader, is identifying where you're weak, looking to solve for those things, and then changing the necessary self-evaluation and self-awareness, and that part of you that's like, hey, this is the limiting factor right here. Whether it's smoking, drinking, doesn't matter what it is. It could be a relationship that you have. It could be something that you don't do. It could be something that you do in excess. But whatever that is, I'm doing air quotes for people who are listening, that is we have to identify that, and then it has to be removed, or it has to be replaced with something in order to elevate to the next level. So we have Polar Bear Fitness, we have Saul Martinez. By the way, are you I know you went to Mexico. Are you Mexican, or what do you have? What? No.
I don't know. I am Mexican. Okay, it's just I get it a lot where people think I'm European or something, but no, my family's from Jalisco. Yeah.
Okay.
But about an hour down from
polar bears in Mexico.
Yeah. No, well, I was asking because I noticed you said Mateo.
Mateo, Sebastian, Diego.
Okay, yeah.
Isaac, and Samantha.
Okay, I was about to say. And then look, a lot of American families are downsizing families, man. Okay, dude, look, Mexican families tend to have bigger families. How do I know? Because my wife is Mexican and we have 11 kids. Okay, everybody. Adam's it feels like 11.
Feels like 11.
Yeah, we're one short of y'all's family. Okay, we have 5 kids.
Nice.
I'm trying to count them in my head right now. 4 daughters and a son.
Yeah, because it's always funny because he always tells me it's somebody's birthday, and I'm like, how many birthdays?
Yeah, wait, birthdays. Yeah, and he's just
my daughter's birthday is my son's. I'm like, damn, how many birthdays?
He's making it up to miss meetings right now. But,
I love that.
So as you're building this brand, Polar Bear Fit, and as you're building your community, your culture around you, and you're obviously invested into Trinity with Adam and Brand and their whole team over there, and they're rebranding, and you're growing, and you're building your brand, and you're obviously involved with Winning Daily now, and here you are on the podcast because we're like, we got to get this guy on here, man. So what's the future? Tell the people of America, where do you see Saul, and where do you see your impact going here now that you're married, now that you're leveling up, and what's next for you, man?
Definitely. What's next is this polar bear one day will be nationwide known, not just as a mascot of fitness, but as health and wellness, just overall positivity. And I will spread that into my own branch gyms, Polar Bear Fitness. This will be something more family oriented. And in the way, what I mean family oriented is everyone's welcome. People are allowed to bring their children, their grandparents. I just want everyone to be in a space where they're able to work on themselves and not feel judged.
Solid. I love it, man. There's a lot of people out there that need you, and I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm being dead serious when I say that. And I'm not just talking to Saul. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to Adam. I'm talking to everybody in this room and everybody who's listening or watching, every ear that can hear this right now. People need you. And there's somebody out there that you will impact or change their life. Mm-hmm. And if you wouldn't have made the decisions that you made to get to where you're at now, and you don't keep making decisions, then guess what? You're not fully living in your purpose. And I think that that's really important. And that was really serious. So let's some hot seat questions now. That's a little bit lighter, man. I got some hot seat questions. We do this with a lot of our guests. You guys ready to do this?
Let's do it.
You guys both? Can I do both of you guys both at the same time? Because we can alternate. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start with. I'll call it out. I'm gonna go to Saul and then you. Yeah. Alternate. Okay. Here we go. Ready? No looking, man. All right. Here we go. Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee all day. As you know, the people that know me, I collect mugs. I don't know how many. I actually don't know how many I have.
Do you have a polar bear mug?
I do. I have multiple.
Yeah, let's go.
I have multiple polar bear mugs. It's gotten to the point where I don't even buy mugs anymore. My people, my clients, my family buy mugs for me. But coffee every morning. I love energy drinks, but if I'm gonna choose one, coffee's where it's at.
Coffee from. I already know.
Always holding a coffee cup.
Yeah, literally, this guy walks in with a coffee and a bag of cough drops right now. This dude. Okay, dogs or cats? Saul?
This is a great question. I have a cat. He's about 11 months old now, but I don't know anyone that had cats prior. None of my family know one. I didn't like cats because every time I would get around a street cat, they'd either like hiss or run away. So I just thought all cats were like that. Now, the reason why we got a cat, we used to live in a studio last year, and we did want a pet, but it just wasn't realistic to get a dog. So I was like, let's just try a cat. Let's see what's up. And if we don't like it, we could give him away. Oh, I love Articus, man. Like
I was gonna say, why do I feel
my-
like you got a cat and named him a dog, man? Because you couldn't get a dog. Yeah,
Definitely a
funny.
cat person, and I like.
Yeah, I was gonna say your cat's 11 months old. Do you consider it a kitten or is it an adult? It's like a teenage cat. What do you?
He's
what
on
do you call
the
a teenage
he's
cat?
on the road to 300 pounds. At no means he is not a kid, and this guy eats more meals than I do.
He's eating like you, bro.
He
He's gonna
eats
go-
6 meals a day.
Hey, dogs or cats? Adam, go.
I like fishes.
Adam's got no. He's like,
But between a dog and a cat, dog all day.
okay, all right, cool. So early bird or night owl?
Both. I mean, I prefer early morning, but I'm also up at 12, 1 a.m. and up at 4 a.m. I mean, you'll see me up at all hours. I should do better sleep, but I would say if I'm gonna choose one, I love first thing in the morning, getting your day started early, being able to actually sit with the silence, and you're more productive when you're able to start your habits, whether that be morning walk, your gym, your session, or just even being sitting in silence. I love it early morning.
Oh yeah, Adam.
Early morning.
Cool. Let's see, TikTok or Instagram. So
Instagram.
we got Adam.
It's a hard one.
TikTok or Instagram, dude.
Instagram.
It's rapid fire. Adam, so he's getting deep with this. Hey, beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Beach vacation. You gotta love the Cancun, Los Cabos, all those Mexico beaches. Beautiful. I recently went to Maui in May, and I fell in love with that island. Rotahana, I think we had poke every day, and then there's this place called ABC Stores with Spamasubis at beach, and I was able to see a turtle snorkeling in the ocean. I almost drowned, but it was worth it. I almost drowned, but it was worth it.
Let's go. Hey, beach or mountain?
Beach.
Okay.
Those are the only two things I love to do.
You snowboard though, right?
Yeah. So I love this. So there's two things: snowboarding and like jet skiing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love those damn freaking two things.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a tough one to pick, but hey, man,
But
you gotta
if,
pick.
if I don't have snowboarding, because a lot of people like do cabins and stuff like that, then I beach all day. I do beach all day.
Texting or calling, Saul?
Ooh, I probably won't answer your call unless you're important to me. I probably won't answer your call. I'll text instead.
Texting or calling, Adam?
I text.
Sweet or salty?
Don't bring a box of donuts around me. I'm gonna go with sweet.
Crushed.
Yeah,
It's
I have a
crushed.
big sweet tooth.
Sweet or salty, Adam?
I'm a salty person.
Okay. Netflix binge or a book reading, Saul?
I don't really watch TV, to be honest. I'll watch it with my wife when we want to watch a movie or something. But I've been heavily into books and being able to expand my mind and perspective on things. Definitely book reading.
We got books. Introvert or extrovert, Saul?
I'm naturally introverted. I've been able to step into an extroverted role, being an entrepreneur now. But at my core, to be able to recharge, I'm introverted.
Meeting people where they're at, man. Introvert or extrovert?
People are gonna laugh at this. I'm actually introverted.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I know you well enough to know that.
I'm actually really introverted. It was just early on when I was younger. I think my grandparents, my grandma saw this, and she's an entrepreneur, and she was like, "You need to change this. Like, you need to smile at every single person you see. You have a gift here, and if you don't do this," so I practice those things.
How's that been going for you? Is it a joke?
Yeah,
Hey,
I smile at everybody.
I'm gonna reverse here. I'm gonna go with you first. Favorite cheat meal, go. I mean, I've asked you this on multiple. Don't lie, just answer. We all know what it is.
Chicken.
Yeah, there it is. Fucking guy. What do you got? Favorite cheat meal?
We'll do 2 4x4s with animal style fries, in and out with the vanilla milkshake.
My boy, let's go. Hey, yeah. Did we just become best friends? Let's go do karate in the garage right now, dog. Oh,
You guys don't know that movie. Come on.
yeah. Hey, worst job you ever had, Soul?
Truthfully, I've only had 3 jobs. I mean, I had Rubio's vitamin shop, and now I don't consider this a job. That this is my life. I wouldn't say I have a worst job, but I could probably bring up a worst job experience. When I was transferring into becoming fully entrepreneur at Self-Made, I remember putting my 2-week notice at Vitamin Shop, and my manager looked at me in the face and she goes, "I'll be waiting for you back when you fail. I'll be waiting for you back here. Your job will be here." So, and I looked at her and I just walked out. Like, I was like, wow, like a lot of me was like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And fast forward to now, it has nothing to do with proving her wrong. I hope the best for her, but she definitely lit a fire on my ass to like work my ass off and never go back.
Leader.
Maybe she was.
Yeah.
She said she was. God put her there to say something during that time.
Yeah.
She was just a vessel to get a message out to you, so you can get a little fire in your butt.
Adam, I know you got something. Worst job you ever had?
I don't know about worst job, but here's some stories. I've actually worked at one of those carts at the mall.
Like the kiosk?
Like kiosks selling CDs and stuff.
No, like those people that sell the Dubai chocolate right now.
Do they?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I don't
look,
go
they
to
got
malls that
that.
often anymore. Here's how I was selling trance and raver CDs because raves wasn't a thing yet.
Oh, bro, I could totally see you. Why could I see you doing that, dude?
It was I think one was we're in Orange County. I think I had a kiosk at Westminster Mall and a kiosk at Spectrum at one time or another.
Get out of here, bro. That's wild.
this
the
is
last place I think I would meet Adam my.
And the reason why I work there, and this is because, my little gift shop over at Asian Garden Mall, my brother or my street brother, they all own my little gift shop, and that shop was to sell burnt CDs. So they put me at.
I was gonna ask that, dude. I didn't want to burn you, dude. I was gonna ask, did they burn?
So they would. What they would do is they're like, "Hey, go work over there." So we would get all the newest CDs. I buy the first one, give it to them. They burn it.
Savage, dude. Allegedly, okay.
Yeah,
allegedly, dude. Favorite childhood cartoon, Saul?
Favorite childhood cartoon? I'm gonna go with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, cool, man. Adam, what do you
got? Cartoon. I keep on thinking about He-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go-to karaoke song, Adam.
Oh, what's I don't remember the name of the actual song, but most of the songs from All for One.
Okay, go. Favorite.
I want to break free, Queen.
Oh, sick guy. All right, pizza or taco, Saul?
Why not both? But
If you fold a
If it-
pizza in half, it becomes a taco, bro.
I'm gonna go with tacos. We need the tacos de lengua, cabeza, al pastor. Then we'll go with the tacos.
Órale. All right, pizza or tacos, go.
Tacos all day long.
Okay, cool. Apple or Android, Saul?
Apple. I mean, I just haven't ever had an Android, so I don't have experience with it, and I've been using Apple since I.
He makes it seem like it's from another planet. He's like, I've never owned one of those. I've never touched one. I've actually never even seen one before. Apple or Android?
I don't think I've ever used an Android before either.
No, I've had both. And actually, look, shout out to Android. They are kind of dope, dude. They have certain features that like Apple didn't necessarily come out. Like their calculator, Apple's calculator sucked for years. And Android had a really cool one that had like a memory that was like recallable. Anyways, I digress. Morning workout or evening workout? So we'll go.
Morning workout. Going back to being an early morning person, I feel your testosterone is at a higher. In the morning, you have more energy, and being able to like put that output into the gym feels amazing.
Solid. Adam, morning.
Mine's morning.
Yeah.
I can't sleep if I do it at night.
Okay. Yeah. Favorite superhero? So
Polar Bear Fitness.
let's go. Yeah, that's the right answer. Adam, favorite superhero?
Superhero, probably, I don't know, Superman, Spawn,
Okay.
Deadpool.
We got to pick a favorite. You just named 3.
Deadpool.
Okay, there it is. I'm like, shit, dude. Comedy or action movie? Soul.
Comedy for sure.
Okay.
Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Comedy.
I like it.
It's comedy.
Adam, ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
Like he said.
I don't like cake. I'll go. Like for my birthday, I actually asked for ice cream cake or a cookie cake. So we'll go ice cream.
What about pie? Do you do pie?
I started opening up to pie recently. I do like pie.
Okay.
I made those.
I knew it. All right. Best fast food chain, Adam.
Fast food?
Yeah, best fast
In-N-Out.
food chain. In-N-Out. Okay.
Same.
Okay, cool. Unanimous right here. One thing you can't live without, Soul?
My family.
Family.
Yeah, of course. Dream car, Adam.
I don't know the truth. Escalade.
Okay. Scott one. Okay. That's awesome.
I would go with the G-Wagon Brabus.
Okay. Solid. Best excuse you've ever used to get out of something. This is I'm gonna take a bit of memory here. Go ahead, Saul.
Well, it wasn't an excuse to actually happen, but I shit myself, so I couldn't go anymore. Like I was on the way, and I had. Long story short, I ate a lot of broccoli, and I didn't know. Like, I had all my meals packed with broccoli, and I'm learning that my body doesn't respond to so much fiber well.
Broccoli.
I was actually on the way to pick up my wife. We were dating at the time, and I shit myself 2 blocks away from picking her up. I had to pull over, like literally, like look around, take off my underwear. Thankfully, I had wipes in the trunk, and I wiped myself. When I get there, I was like, "We're not going to dinner. Like my pants are flooded." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I shit myself," and she didn't believe me until it happened again when we were coming back from Big Bear. Shout out to broccoli. Like no, like
Note to self: if you're Mexican, you can't eat broccoli. Adam, best excuse you've ever used to get out of something?
I don't think I have a best excuse. The funniest excuse is very similar to the story. I drank my mom's diet tea. It's a laxative.
oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. It was just on the, you know.
My wife has some Herbalife, and I'm not knocking Herbalife, but she has some Herbalife tea thing. I drank it. I was like, and I don't drink anymore. And I drank it, and I was like, I feel hungover, like with almost instantly. I'm like, is this the purpose of feeling like this? Like,
But I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was, she made a big old pot and it was inside the fridge because she wanted it cold. I didn't know. I just took it, poured it out. I drank it. I was like, this is a little different. Yeah.
yeah, that'll be that first and the last time. Well, you gotta take you a couple swings with the broccoli to land.
man,
Most used emoji besides the broccoli emoji.
that's a good one. Honestly, just one of these. Little smile. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the laughing one.
The laughing one. Okay. Favorite holiday. So
Christmas and Thanksgiving, going back to family. Like, I really do have a big family. Going back to recently came back from Mexico. We had a reunion. There was over 500 people. But during Christmas and Thanksgiving, we make a big effort for everyone to come together. We do Secret Santa. There's another one that we do, Secret Santa, and then I forgot the name, but it's like White Elephant. There you go. And it's so funny to play these games with everyone and just come together.
that's all.
Mine's the same. It's Christmas and Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving probably a little bit more so because the eating part.
It's nonstop. Yeah.
Nonstop.
For us, I think it starts like we gotta start going into hibernation in our family. Like the tamales start cooking, the arguments in the kitchen start happening.
Thanksgiving clapbacks.
yeah.
But then also the other part of that is like it's home cooking.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just the food, it's actually home cooking. Like all the parents get in, all the aunts. When we do it at ours, is like every aunt, they have their own specialty, like a dish. So that's what they'll work
They're bringing
on.
the heat, bro.
Yeah, so we'll all work on their specialty dish. So all of a sudden now you got like a spread of all these, like best dishes. And I'll be honest with you, like I think where food tastes the best is when people pour their love into it.
Absolutely.
Like somebody that like pours their love into it and cares, the food just tastes so much better.
Yeah.
Like no doubt.
Absolutely. Well, this has been fun, man. This has been fun. We'll have to run this back, and I appreciate you coming on, taking time to connect with us. And guys, if you tell everybody at home where they can go find you, where on social media, give everybody, give yourself a where they can find you on platforms.
Well, first off, it was a blessing to get the opportunity to come today. Very nice to meet Gabe in person for the second time, but being able to talk with Adam and Gabe, I loved it. I loved it. And being able to follow this podcast prior to even, I didn't know this opportunity would come. So when Adam asked, I didn't even hesitate to say yes. So once again, thank you for having me on. You can find me at PBear Fitness on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we'll put all Saul's links in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify or anything like that, we'll try to include it in the description. But again, we appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to connect. This has been the Winning Daily Podcast, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into the Winning Daily YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and go right here and turn that notification bell on. We look forward to winning daily with you.